Sangit Choknamba, Jamshu Pardu Dagni Kyapsuchi, Dagi Chuzun Jimbe Sonam Kyu, Gola Penshu Sangit Rupashu. Shulam Sangit Choknamba, Jamshu Pardu Dagni Kyapsuchi, Dagi Chuzun Jimbe Sonam Kyu, Gola Penshu Sangit Rupashu.
Okay. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everyone.
How are you? Everybody who sit on the chair, maybe put under the feet small cushions. Maybe Amy and they need small cushions. They make your feet warm. I don't feel cold. The sun is very clean. They know the wind is very strong. Therefore, it means more wind. Yeah, tired. Three months. Oh, tired. I don't know the children. They tired. Don't
So today we're going to have a discussion on how to practice Dharma in relation to the praise to 21 Taras.
내가 당보된 공 같은 경우는 그냥도 아니 당보 당보계층 동이 있어. 아니 용서가 아니 당보계 자칭 아니 양도 증명이 있어. 당보치 여러 회와나 아니 경우치 이제 주는다. 변도 체리했어.
So first Geshe is going to recite once on his own, just as a transmission, give a transmission to you. And if you have received the transmission and recite with that, then it's more beneficial, becomes more meritorious, more blessings. And so Geshe is going to recite one time in Tibetan, and then after that we'll all recite together once in English. It's in page 220, 221 in English.
아니 말은 되고 아니 다 륜당 치당에서 간가 아니 륜이 주되는 제대로 통용스러워 아니 치당 륜이가 아니 계시면서 통용하랬어.
And Geshe Ngawang has received this transmission of the 21 phrases to Tara from Geshe Rinpoche, very well-known Lama, and also both transmission and the commentary from Geshe Kurukulla.
일단 nenjel 직단 나서 지금 문제나들의 연애 마치 너가이나 아니 무색을 나서다 지금 전력 나오더라고.
So there will be more blessings since there is this unbroken lineage, the transmission of this teaching from the lamas to lama, from teacher to teacher, and so there is more blessings. So if you recite with that transmission.
Okay. 아니 다 나가서 지금 끊어대야 간데 지금 아니 드라마 이런 일 다 주는데 아니 다 아니 선체 탐지가 변경이 있잖아. 년내가 하고 영어 쇼서가 끊고 그랬어.
And so, so you should set up a proper motivation, thinking that and I must achieve from the enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings for that reason, and I'm going to receive this transmission and engage in the practice of the Dharma.
Oh yeah. umjezuma bomajumala shantalo chadramani mapamo shinagaje lodandama jidatu jijaji kadajabala sham shadadamada kando kamatina to shama kamatara sabanamje rada shebabanda shadadama chineje pemechana jama jabatra kadasha zabadana sheyama shadadari shadatu tayana baje shama malipara jabato 예배드리 전에대한 말 찾아 따라오고 이해하게 나타나는 강만 지대도 버치잖아요. 예방만 그러면 말 찾아지지 말아 처음 봐. 그러면도 오전 좀 말, 좀 말아도 남 늦어도 전에 대한 말 찾아지잖아. 배야지. 바로 거는 좀 말, 이제 그것이 되는데 내가 좀 맞추는 마음 말 찾아들이 주바치요. 이제 바원은 좀 말, 지지전에 전에 대한 대로 저도 좀 몰라서 말. 저도 그래서 나 차게 처음 들어가는 거죠. Politician college, and go to the Drama, Chadara, go to which you do a Pema, Jabara, the Danjitan, the Dharma, Chadara, Tono, Tenuka, Manama, you go home, Motina Drama, and the Mama, Revetanova Melia, Tarajan Oran Dharma, Chanaka, Meta, Bayanto, and the Nema, Ijan go get, they put it on the jump. The general shock, the Doma, 20 go home, and what the put in the game. So the Demakama, you the issue Yama, so on the Demi, the Machimachuan Yama, so the Kurukulla Gabe, the Grenada game. You get your own Gobe, the Mahonatan Yama, and the regional Dabi, Hogan the Sovereign Yama, the Mother and Bush. It is Nayawan Yama, so the Nami, the traditional Nama, Tarani Petty Year, no money upon the self. Chidale to the job, all of the Mochi, the American Kojaka, someone of the Sama, and you got the chief, Jinipala of the Sama, Haran Chit the Rai, the river in the Sama, she was in the Kobe, she had a time at them. And the Rolando Jetonum, Jamata Virginia, Seven Jetabada, Soda and Jetachi, Hamoragi, and the Gonga, the Tantara Revelation, the Memaju, the Divata Java, Javachava, and you don't want to cover the Lechavan in the Sanjako, the theatre, not the motion, Tenem, Sabadan Taranja, Timber, the Savani, the Northern number of the Sanjay Javan, is on the number, and the Penapadaja, not the Pen, the Batia, and the measures of John Jerachu. Okay, I'm not the youngest touching this.
So let's all recite this together one time.
Page 221. Yes. Kurukulla. English or Tibetan?
Oh, I think English, yeah. Better you guys stop there.
Oh, my prostrate to the humble transcendent liberator. Homage, Cyrus, and heroic. Shines like lightning instantaneous. From the flowing statements of love. Clear for lows. Homage, from times of comrade on to the fullness. Blazing with my graceless splendid. That's a thousand step election. Homage, flowing to the lotus. Water born in hand adored. Giving ever calm austerities. Patience, meditation, mercy. Homage, rounds of Kurukulla. Actions triumph without limit. We are not like humble children. Grounding reach every perfection. Homage filling with Jutari. From desire, direction, and space. Trampling with her to the seven roads. Able to offer all beings. Homage worshipped by the All-Lord. Chakra, Adi, Brahma, Maru. Honored by the host of spirits. Corporators, Gandharvas, Yaksha. Homage with her trade and paid sounds. Destroying close magic diagrams. Earthly dressing left out righted. Blazing in the raging fireplace. Homage to a very dreadful. Destroyer of Mars champion. She with crowning lotus vision. English slayer of all enemies. Homage at the heart her fingers. Adorn her with three jewel mudra. Like great masses all excited. All directions wheels adorn her. Homage she's so joyous radiant. Crowning many garlands of light. Earthful laughing with Jutari. Subjugating Mars Dewa. Homage she able to summon. All her guardians assembly. Shaking crowning with their whole side. Saving from every misfortune. Homage crown adorned with present. The wealth of legends so shining. Agatha in her hair now. Soul's numbers light eternal. Homage she would make the blaze light. Beyond the fire abiding. Express heaven torch around you. Choice of enemies destroying. Homage she strikes the ground with her comment with her good deeds. Shouting with the letter home. The seventh level she does conquer. Homage happy girl was peaceful. She who is Nirvana. She Kavakam and Soma. Destroyer of the great evil. Homage she with choice surrounded. Tearing the bodies asunder. Creature to the mother's mantra. Arrangement of the 10 letters. Homage to the agency letter. Upon the shape of silver bowl. Bible standing shapes of creatures. Name of Mandara and Nilya. Homage holding in her hand the dear Lord unto the Viva Faithful. Her eyes will be Kara handmaid. Totally this poisons. Tale Shiu dancing their kings, and the kingdom rose to honor. Armored in all joyful splendor, she dispels like demons conquer. Tale she moves to wise bright with radiance of sun and stone. Tale she jumped in the courage, she dispels every contagion. Shadows and deals liberating, her like the sense of clean nature. These are the spirits Yashe, and resources to enduring. These races the double mantras and prostrations are 21. Page 245, Prayer of Benefits. Whoever is endowed with devotion to the goddess who recites this supreme faith, remembering it at dawn upon waking in the evenings, will be granted all fearlessness, will perfectly pacify all negativity, and will avoid all unfortunate migrations. The multitudes of conquerors will quickly grant initiation. Thus endowed with this grace, this one will reach into the state of state. Protected by the most terrible poison, whether ingested, drunk, or from a living being, just by remembering the one who thoroughly cleansed. If this prayer is recited 2, 3, or 7 times, it will pacify all the sufferings of torments caused by spirits, fevers, poisons, and other beings as well. If you wish for a child, you will get a child. If you wish for wealth, you will receive wealth. All your wishes will be fulfilled, and all obstacles pacified.
Okay, good job. You guys understand what they're talking about? Usually, Tara is 21 Taras, very difficult to understand. It's the Sutra that Buddha composed. And we have the
It's the root text.
Root text, therefore, we don't understand, just be blah, 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 blah. I don't know, maybe English, maybe you guys understand it. Together, it's very hard to understand. Then Tara is female Buddha. And many years before Buddha had in his times, we call it the Sangye Nada.
Sound of drum.
Sound drum, I don't know. And during that kind of Buddha times, then they heard previously like her name is Dawa. Her name is Dawa. Dawa is moon guru. No? And during that time, she often, that Buddha has sanghas, all the time pray, all the time offering things. Then that time the Buddha told her, your okay, I think I not tongue, change my legs. And the Kabla something I say, and the room Telepomoda, Chanania, Pemeran, Tanaya, and the Sensual Zis and the Tukia, she was nice.
So during that time, Buddha, known as the sound of drum or Nada, and Buddha Nada, told her to make a commitment to work for the benefit of sentient beings in every lifetime, in a female form.
And the ten move and the tea Sanjay tea in the and the Tanyamaji 2 Jenny, the Shanchu sent to the J, and the Sensual and Today, the bottom of the virus.
So at that time, in the presence of that Buddha, she generated the mind of enlightenment or bodhicitta, and benefited numberless sentient beings.
Or Teni Kablaya, and that Teni Sanjay Morgan, St. George, and the and the Sensual Mambo, and the Koal Tower. And
so at that time she got the name Tara, or the Liberator. She said, because the Buddha said, you are helping so many sentient beings to be free from psychic existence, free from suffering. So since you are liberating them, your name should be Liberator. So since then she got the name Tara, or Liberator.
And the Tanema shown it, Tamanzo, Tatamali, Tat. And
so that was like, long time ago, before Buddha Shakyamuni's time, during that Buddha's time, Buddha Nada's time. And then now, what happened during Buddha Shakyamuni's time?
And the Tati Logitita Olium Goris, and the Tatamoni Pena, 자외 측변아 쇼로가 유시 자치당 대회다 다 물론 다 손데 이런 데 가르쳐 먹어서 나죠.
And so that will come later. We'll go through that. I'll explain that later. But anyway, how did this praise, the praise to 21 praises to Tara came about?
아니 니마치야 지선 잠배가 상지 좀 되대서 다 추 세리가 가봐야 아니 상지 좀 되대야 저저는 그래서 아니 지선 좀 왔어야 돼. 아니 다 샤제가 나라 다 지대시나인도 아니 다 상지 샤도 만나가 근데 선칭은 것도 친구인데 로지라고 근데 가능하다고 그랬다 야시와 말했어.
So one time when Manjushri was receiving teaching from Buddha Shakyamuni, he asked Buddha Shakyamuni about Tara. He says, I heard about this deity Tara, and she's found in her name is mentioned in the sutras also, and has mentioned that she has benefited so many beings to be free from cyclic existence, from suffering and so forth. So what is the story or history of this Arya Tara?
대시와라는 사실 좀 된다고야. 지선 좀 왔어야 됐다. 아니 깨워 몸은 내가 사제선가 안 되는데 아니 뭐고 다 떠봐라고 돼 아니 사제 나와다 있어야 돼요. 사실 단가 자와가 보면 봤을 때 되게야 아니 승리시 다 떠봐 이제 점이 그래서 대두순도 지내서 다 사실 좀 되는 막 되셔서 송하는 지셔가 그래서
And so then Buddha Shakyamuni said, yes, Tara is Venerable Arya Tara, is a female Buddha who is enlightened long time ago already, who's enlightened already long time ago. Right? During the Buddha Amitabha's time, Buddha Amitabha offered a praise to her, and this is the praise. This is was written in this way. So Buddha narrated this praise.
뭐 된지디다 나도 간줄 다 적어놓은 줄라야 아니 내가 숨집하지 소시나 성화식 저화식은 지들 좀 있다고 하더니 그래서 다 되는 게 있다. 그러면 이 짜증데 아니 다 내가 숨바리 말했어.
And then so that is in the translated teachings of the Buddha. So all the Buddha's teaching that was translated, and so we call it translated teaching of the Buddha. In that there is a section on the Tantra, and there are 35 chapters, and I think it's the third chapter of that teaching on Tantra that explains about these 21 praises to Tara.
아니 다 땡기나요 그래서 다 땡기나요 빠지요.
And of course, it is also in the commentaries, as it was in the teachings of the Buddha. There's also in the commentaries.
다 좀만 네가 아니 다 좀만 이 자치단 저기 네 녀네 쳐봐라. 아니 간도 지금 왕도 들려 두고 말이야. 아니 간도 다 다랑 같이 다 손에 쳐가는 간도 지금 주고 그랬어.
And so in order to recite or do the practice of this praise to John Taras, you don't have to receive initiations. If you just recite it and make a request or pray, you receive the blessings.
뭐 간지 다 지서 좀 앞에는 네 자신들 당가지 와서 이제 다 내 이렇게 당가서 하면 좀 너무 많이 지나서 다 집안을 해서.
So as you might have seen the pictures of the 21 different Taras, right? There are many different versions in a little bit maybe different shapes or colors and so forth, but they are all same.
두세대 당가요. 야. 대제다 치다 좀 맞아야 돼. 다 속단 잠이라도 남자 잠이라 아니 강사 소수 아니 레나하고 적용을 해서 가디나 집어 말해서.
And so Tara can come in different forms, in different aspects, depending on the sentient being's karma. So, depending on their karma, different people might see Tara in different forms.
아니 다 남중만서 용달라 아니 로카다 정찬이 이래서.
So as the one that is well known to all of us, is the green Tara, right? Green Tara, and then there's a white Tara.
다 던지가 아니 로마텔라 소왔담네 아니 예덤데스네 냠노 지와 있나 다 메팅 거네지 내가 다 되면 된차 듣고 말이에요.
And so by praying to Venerable Arya Tara, if we engage in the practice, then all our wishes, the temporal and ultimate wishes will come true.
아니 내가 이때 아니 가서 다 다다 benefit 나는데 와서 번데지 그런 데만 되는 거였는데 와서.
So just like the temporary benefits, like it is mentioned in the benefits of reciting the Tara prayer, There's those who wish a child would have a child, those who wish wealth would have wishes, would have wealth and so forth. So those are the temporary benefits.
아니 쟤도 같이 가야다 매번 좀 더 그래서 이was.
And will not have any obstacles and hindrances. Will be able to destroy all those unfavorable conditions.
어떻게 다 나도 거야 돼 봐.
So that's what we need, right?
어디지? 근데 이봐자 글쎄. 아니 다투고 있는데 다 와도 들리잖아. 산지 공부 다 보고 그래. 대지도 좀 할텐데 또 다가면 또 그래서.
And then the ultimate, wish is to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings, and that can be achieved through the practice of Dharma.
어디지? 다 들리 이봐자 다 시단 내가 저 공부시라는 저 공부시라 요 말에 들어지. 이따 치대냐.
So there are not many commentaries to this praise. The praises to the 21 Taras is very rare. There are only a few.
들리다 다 저와 매게 싸워라 다 소점는 아주 도강 소자와 지와시라서 수도 말했어.
And so if we try to bite, the root text, which has no commentary, it will be the same as biting a stone. You will not get much.
저 아니 저와 게데한테 다 자음식 근데 담보되고 공거에 나타 분명히 아니 또 와서 그러는데 그래야.
And so there is one commentary by Jawa Mindudu, the first Dalai Lama. There's one that is available now. I'm not sure if that has been translated into English or not. So it's like I said, if you're trying to comprehend the root text, it's just like trying to bite on a stone. If you're not careful, you might break your teeth.
You have to go to see your doctor again. Anyway,
and so based on that commentary by the first Dalai Lama, we're going to have discussion as much as we can.
아니 대가 아니 옴따리 뜻따리에서는 좋다 즉시 와서 대막 뚫네 아니 다 시단에 들어가자 이거서 와.
So there is the Tara mantra, right? So the 10-syllable Tara mantra, Om Tara Tutara Turisoha. So this commentary actually breaks down that, those syllables and then comments on that. Commentates on that.
What is doing was? 올라서 왔다 되니 다 나서 옴집에서만 보면 정말 상상이 없어요. 왔다 뭐.
So the first one which says Om, I prostrate to the noble transcendental liberator.
봐. 다 옴세딩 아니 말씀 다 이거 숨성이에요.
So Om consists of three letters, O, A, Ma.
봐. 되게 아니 사지 그 송 특지 연tem성이에요.
And so that symbolizes the three qualities of the Buddha's holy body, holy speech, and holy mind. And also that indicates the enlightened qualities of Ayatara's body, speech, and mind.
근데 다 당당 나라 솔직히 리대 영화였는데 묘모도 째대요. 대 묘모다 봐 좌예요. 좌예 요하는 것도 요래라고 나한테 쉬려고 그래서.
And so right now also the three body, speech, and mind that we have now are contaminated by the delusions. And these can be free from these contaminations and achieve a fully enlightened body, speech, and mind.
다 두손섬을 하셨다. 아니 다 노때마다 제발시바 니 담보 사진으로 시작을 했어요. 노때마다 제발시바.
And so there is this brief indication and extensive explanations. There are two kind of subheadings.
어디다는 노때마다 다 옴세에서 옴세에 간지리 사지 주지스 좀에 고송 투리에 대해서 좀 그래서
So the Om, understand now, right? So like I said, it consists of three letters, O, A, Ma, which symbolizes the three body, speech, and mind. So that's the three enlightened body, speech, and mind of the Venerable Ayatara.
다 제세, 제세에 시단 다 뽕보 잡고들 해서
And so here, the venerable or noble, it is referring to somebody who is at the highest level, like a king or a minister or leader.
근데 얘가 너가 semjela shamsele 중지. 아니 타와다 단절에 타와다 단춘 쳔베 남다 처반지가 딱 뽀모로 대본으로 있다 제스.
And so it is called king, noble, or the king, because he or she rules the sentient beings with compassion and great kindness, and leads them to the state of liberation or enlightenment. Therefore, it's called noble, venerable, or king.
Is that the J or the
J.
J?
제. 아니 쯧래디 땅도 상 아니 된지가 산지 공부 토발라 아니 샹스지도 막 상마지도 막 소지도 막 아니 누가 기본 써가지고 차상 송거가 있어 다 대해 지르게 근데 송가 있어 준.
So, and then zun, zun means like making effort, making making effort. Yeah. So you have to make effort to engage in the practice by observing the vows, the moralities, and so forth. And so, because of course, Ayatara does that. Therefore, she's also called Zun.
그러와 그소 투지 그시 시시 더와 먹이베니 셴 타도지 마고와 빠베나 준.
And so, because through observing all these moralities, purely, she has subdued all her, body, speech, and mind, and she is not stained, by any of these delusions.
근데다 먼저 인지kel라야 아니 안에서 좀 말은 뭐 좀서 인지가 더.
그래.
그래.
small 이제 그래.
그래. 아다데 좀 말은 이게 어다 전세 된지까지 보이나 좀봐 보면은 좀 마세. 다 링아 예수님 용모 관계 빠서기 용모가 되는게나 용모 장은 만로지나 좀 마.
안에서 라비오라 맞아요.
다 그래요.
맞아요. 인지체로 와.
원하는 배. 아다데 이게 좀 말이지. 좀 말.
So you might have heard, it's like to the nuns, in a honorific term, in a honorific term they call it Tsumala, like you used to call venerable Tsumala, and so that's for someone who's making effort to observe vows very purely. So like Tsunma for the nuns and Tsunpa for the monks.
그와 아니 지다지 좀 다로 소화다 마다 다다 맞지. 다음 파마세나 아니 소소시고 예때래 사바. 아니 콘데라 맘메바. 아니 니투다 랑 사제다 샤제든지 돈도 고노 물어부터서 다 톤네 사제서마다 파바 고나메 바세로.
And so then Padma, which is the transcendence who have transcended from that level, so higher than the ordinary beings, of course, and even higher than the heroes, Soti Rajas, and even the Bodhisattvas. So the highest, like enlightened beings, fully enlightened beings, who is not, and in this case, in the Venerable Ayatara's case, of course, is fully enlightened, so he's the highest, and nobody can transcend her. And so, but of course, in another word, power means like superior, than the ordinary beings.
다 파마. 다 롤마세테 아니 다 롤, 다 샘신 탐셔도 로거 지바리 조바. 샘제데 지바 두마리 조완생이다 롤마세고.
And then the liberator, that's because she liberates sentient beings, from all the fears, the sufferings. Suffering the psychology, suffering the lorem, and so forth. Therefore, she's called liberator.
아니 다 자와 생 와다 되지 다 롬마지. 다 제장 방마 롬마다 다 샤사데. 샤사데 되다데 아니 다 아니 뇽모바다. 제가 소와 담네 아니 다 소와데 다 샤스는 그 괜히 샤사로 아니 뇽모다 시제로 막. 다 매봐서 보고 요새로
So prostrate, which has the physical, aspect, and then the mental aspect, and then the verbal aspect as well. So of course, physical aspect is like, like prostration is like bowing down and so forth. But and actually, the mental aspect is that when you say that cha is actually in Tibetan, which means to sweep away, to sweep away the delusions. So you wish to sweep away the delusions. So you make request, to the Venerable Dharma or whoever the deity that you're making request to, or making procession to help you to sweep away all the delusions.
아니 제가 소화한데 다 문도 받아서 매번 나로 나와서 날 매번 나로 나서야 다 샤스 사실은 나한테 좀 되게 되세요. 그러고 나서 시선.
In Tibetan, cha means that, and cal means I wish that. So I wish to have all these delusions, all these unwanted and unfavorable conditions to be removed, or to be cleared away, or swept away.
어떻지? 아니 로세한테 다그 특파카고 인생에 다 로세한테 개미도스. 로세. 나혹시 인생 거 로세 가고 비해서 말씀.
적식에서
조조스러워라 다 특파카.
So then cha lo means like is the completion of the word, so it means making prostration. So that's just to complete the word. That word, so it's called lo, but doesn't really have meaning.
Okay. 다 omje tsama pamadomala shadochi도 하고서 되게 하고서 왔어.
So you say that's on je tunma pamadomala cha lo. You see the phonetic in there, right?
Yep.
So that's the meaning now.
오케이. 다 되지. 다 되더만. 다 되네. 다 다 되네. 다 사실 된다 때문에 제가 시작하려 지금. 다 대통령 조건으로 하든 조건으로 혹시 가능성을 해서 가능성을 다 대단하다 지다 그냥 짜지 쇼로까지 짜진 건 어떤 적이 말해서 다 쇼로까지 짜진 곳에 다 대쇼 슈트 맞추고 했어.
So that's the homage part, right? To Venerable Ayatara. And also that indicates the brief explanation. And then now from here starts the 21 praises.
뭐지? 다들 도때만 제바시바 이어가는 다도문 도때만 돼. 아니 다 쇼로까지 돼 말해서 와. 엄지사마 그런 창사 드라마니마 빨리 신의 같이 로단다만 지대선 거 체제자지 계속 샤바는 쇼마스.
Tinto Temple.
된다 된다. 대단하죠.
So then there's the brief explanation, and then the extensive explanation. So the first verse is the brief explanation. This is homage, Dara, Sut, heroic. I like lightning, it's continuous, it's from opening stems of the lords of three was tear-born lotus. So that's the like the origin.
되게 좀 담보디 미라야 알랍다 빠비 좀 마스. 또 고민을 말해서 와.
Pal,
이렇게 빨리 빠고서.
pal, pal, pal,
다 빨라.
pal, pal.
빨리.
So the first, we don't have name in English, right? The 21 Taras names. We have 21 Taras names.
Somewhere. Not right here.
So anyway,
Maybe in the
I don't think we have it in English. If we have, it will be in Sanskrit, right?
야.
So it doesn't matter whether it's in Sanskrit or in Tibetan for the English.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe Martin Wilson's book might have it.
Anyway, so
에이서.
so the first Tara is called Tara Palmo. Rapto Palmo means very glorious, very glorious.
Is it in the part of that?
Titanondes, yes.
색 담보들 다 담보들 같이 되게 색 담보들은 다 로마 담보들 해서 와.
즉 담보들이
색 담보들.
빠모세.
다
Palma?
그 자자 더머니가 빠모세 들이.
다 되게 설정해서 왔어. 빨모세 되는 거 지와.
빠오다 빠모세.
빠오다 빠모세.
빠오빠모세 왜?
이 빠모세.
빠세데. 빠덴세데 빠데. 빠다 데마세데.
빠오.
그래서
내 뜻도에 냉치대 다 빠오 빠라 빠지다.
빠라
빠오도 빠모세 가지 빠오도 빠모. 알아도 빠모세.
So Geshe says he's not sure what he wrote exactly. It could be Pal, which means glorious. Could be Pa, which means heroic.
오 헤어져.
So maybe heroic it is.
빠오세.
In the word it says heroic.
Oh yeah. Okay.
빠오지.
Which is Pal.
잡다 빠오.
Pa,
Palmo.
Pao, Pao, Pamo,
탐도 말보지 아니 천선 냠이 차리다 파트 초대원 무슨 거거든요. 그래서
So now this describes about her, and she has a red colored body. And this Tara, the first Tara, has a red colored body, and she's a little bit in a wrathful aspect, not a very wrathful aspect, but a very slightly wrathful aspect, with a smiling face.
how you do this? You guys know how you do it?
Can you be wrathful? Can you show the angry face with a smile? A little bit angry face.
Maybe you know the mothers try to show the kids to angry, try to show that you know the kids action, they automatically smile, you know. Yeah, no, anyway, what that is tenor. The is that the shantaro say
So anyway, first one is the homage, right? Homage to the Tara suit heroic.
아니 다때 제법부터 제바이나 아니 다 소라 찬사거리 수찬사거리 에서로 그래서
And so the homage, to homage to whom, and homage is paid by whom. Homage paid by whom, and homage to whom.
다 드리다 샤 사사데 좀 마치 상이든 나서로 봤어.
So the homage, to Ayatara and paid by us, right?
드리 좀마데 다 좀마 인연마 빠르모 어서 데레스 드리 좀마데 샤상이 예스.
And to that Tara who is swift and heroic.
드리다 다 니제 전보다 sem제 탐지 체다 쇼당 아니 예리메바 아니 밴데 마시 저바 끼지 영어메바 다 산지 탐지진 전례 아니 쥐들이마다 년마 아니 다 드라마도 지바로 와도 뉴모도 지바 드라마도 드라마들와 그래서 대한 예보인바 년마 산지 탐지진 전례 년마 세들에 다 드라마 년마스.
And so Tara, if we know, right? Tara is the liberator, so she who liberates all sentient beings from the suffering. And swift, it's like very quickly, as she has so much compassion to all sentient beings, without any bias, like without any having some more to one or less to others, not like that. She has equal, compassion towards all sentient beings and work hard all the time, and therefore she's much swifter to liberate sentient beings.
아니 동아단 지바 탐지 쪽에 님도 토관에 봐 옆에는 빠모스 아니 명모 같은 쪽 빠면은 빠모스라고.
And because she has all this power, unlimited power to liberate all sentient beings, and possess that power, because of that she's called heroic.
아니 로지로 샤와이다스 얘 다 자갈아야 아니 다 자가 보고 뭐서야 신경나야 메토드가 그래.
So there's a story about this in India. The young girls and boys, they were going into a forest to cut woods, chop woods, and pick flowers and so forth.
아니 부모로 쫓아와시거든. 나 메토드 같이 많이 말해서.
And so there was this one girl, a young girl, who was 10 years old, who went to pick flower.
아니 뒤가려야 다뭐 랑보치를 tunde 랑보치가 아니 가다 다 나고 손님 뭐 기술만 말해서.
And so she ran into an elephant, and the elephant caught her with his tongue and carried her away.
아니 대치에서 말다 뭐 탑지로 개는데 다 지들 좀 써야지 요래서 된지가 좀 세는 말을 지금 생각 딱 잡시면서 된지 제가 쌈지 근데 랑보치지 다른 아니 그래 다 로에 그거.
And so at that time, she had heard about Tara, so she was so afraid. So she prayed to Tara, by remembering her, and just by remembering Tara, with that power, she was released by the elephant. So just by remembering the Tara, by taking refuge in Tara.
된지 부모대 마다 주마다 뱀네 다 lum바되게 다 부모된 건데 나머지 간 타고가 쉬우지래서네 부모도 주마 잡고 다 lum바대 잡고 나마 쳐서 말했어.
And so then she escaped from this wild elephant, and then came back to the village, and all the people in the village were so surprised that she got escaped from this wild elephant. Normally people get killed, but she was able to escape. So they thought she must be a very, very lucky person. And then she became the queen, bride, and then of course queen later of that kingdom.
어디 다 샤트를 써야 돼. 다 술아서나 and drama Nima Pamodra Shanta is.
So you pay homage to whom? The Tara, sweet heroic.
Tati Kanado is not Shen Kitchen Lodan Dharma, Jitin Sungun, Chichi Jaji, Kesa Shawar the Shuma, Kanado, you call the Shuma is when us.
So how does she look like and where does she came from and so forth? So that's what we're talking in the next 3 lines, right? She has like eyes like lightning instantaneous, sprung from opening stems of the lords of 3 worlds, tear-born lotus.
And the Shen the kitchen Lodan Dharma, Shen said the Tang, Ta, Jitumi Shen the Ezra, and the Deja, Semchin Tamjula, Tita Namba Kadina Ziva, Mizibi, Kichitami Omares, or Shoshin to Ezra.
And so the eyes, she's looking with the eyes to all sentients all the time, with compassion and wishing to benefit all the time.
Yang te maye kang jidromi shen majabachi tujana jidromi shen ge sesa ge deja de to ani ta kichi jigi chichen res mataba res no ya ko res wa.
And then also you can understand that the beings who are looked by Ayatara's eye are impermanent, impermanent and disintegrating moment by moment.
Chawa mata naki lo dan ras ma to jirom chikashi pese no was.
So like there's an example of our life being impermanent, like the lightning in the sky, right?
What is tell paya je and tula jidroma kono chana chawana jidromi ta shen diga deja kawa su so ta ko na kichi taano sige mo taano kengre sa ko was.
And so it's also, you can understand that her blessing to sentient being is instantaneous, like lightning. So whoever prays to her or seeks help with her, and then she will immediately help, just like lightning, very fast.
What is tate kanri ta jite song ji no ta tenri de kawane je wa kanero shomare sa wa na.
And so such kind of Tara, where did she come from? Where was she born from?
Tenjete jite sum gos, jite sum sevate, ane ngaso dekam zuko sumi kansum na jana chogores, ane sao sati savlas na jana chogores, wa.
So where did she come from? It says the Lord of the 3 worlds, tear-born lotus, right? So Lord of the 3 worlds. Now the 3 worlds are the 3 realms, like the desire realm, form realm, and then the formless realm, or the terrestrial, and subterrestrial, and celestial, like the 3 different kind of beings. Those on the ground is terrestrial.
Subterrestrial?
Subterrestrial is underground, and then above the ground is celestial.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah. So those 3 worlds like that.
다 도서관 게 대금 건다 짭주어디 소리나 아니 다 봐봐셔야지 말이에요. 봐봐셔야지.
So the Lord of all these 3 worlds is who is the Lord of these 3 worlds? So here it is referring to Avalokiteshvara. So Avalokiteshvara, the Buddha of compassion, and is the Lord of all these 3 worlds.
근데 이마다 단디 나도 좀로 테스트라고 이마야 아니 봐봐셔야지 그 심지어 빠더면 봐 산지에서 거네. 아니 다들 파시 단 남들다 심신 코바 라요 말해서 지금 쓰고 말해서.
So this is just I think maybe it will be relevant to go through this story a little bit. Avalokiteshvara, again, long time ago, when he meditated on compassion and bodhicitta, and then start to liberate sentient beings from cycle existence, and then he went into meditation, and then he prayed for the sentient beings to be free from cycle existence, and then at the end he thought maybe by now there may not be many sentient beings left, and then he opened his eyes. And he saw again number of sentients.
You all said it. 근데 다는 샘 밤네. 다 근데 다 깔리 다 단다 섬진도 알아서 나 현재 쇼에 말했어.
And then he still saw so many sentient beings suffering in cycle existence, and he became so hopeless, and then of course compassion towards sentient beings, and that made him cry, and tears ran down his eyes, out from his eyes.
아니 된지가 미치대 다 출했지. 치는 다 매독배만 되어 말이죠.
And so he shed so much tear that the tear formed a lake, and then from the lake there was a sprung, a lotus from that lake.
된지 매독배만 되는라 다 지들만 양 좋아해 말이죠.
And so from that lotus, and then there was this Ayatara was born, from that lotus.
아니 지들은 다시 이렇게 제가 투마 밤스 이게 제가라 아니 대다 넘어가는 로바 책이 마야 채널 로바 요새네 다지 생축받는 마 그래서.
And so then Ayatara came out from that lotus and then said to Avalokiteshvara, please don't feel hopeless and don't worry, and I'm also going to help you to liberate sentient beings from cycle existence.
어때다 지들 좀 하면서 다 쇼탄을 보지 가는 다 단단 정글이 내려가면서 다 근조 쇼탄이 쇼만 말이죠.
And so that's how Dharma came about in this world at this this time during the shadow of this time.
그러와 지들 숨고 샤지 체체에서 다 빼자 가지나 두서 놓고 있을 때 이거를 들어와 샤지 체체에서 단디 체체에서 있어서 샤지 체를 겨루는 뒤 고대로 그러는데 뭐니 저는 뭐죠? 샤지 체체는.
So anyway, it is same in English, but Tibetan is different. So like I said, it's a lot of three words: tear, born lotus, or Lord's doesn't matter anyway. So that just means like I was born from the tear, from the lake, and that was formed by the tear of the Lord of Three Worlds, and the lotus from there.
아니 개서 셔발에 주마 개서 세대 다 빼마 싸바 메토 싸바 되는 주마에 해서 다 빼면 메토 싸바 되는 주마에 해서 그러.
So anyway, so that the lake that was formed by the tear, and then from there came the lotus, and then she was born from the lotus.
어디다 다 된지가 지들 좀 맡아라 샤타가 예사를 샤타하세 그다데.
And anyway, so to that kind of Tara, so as in English, we have the homage to the top at the top, right? So it's saying so that's where you to that kind of Tara, you make up prostration.
그러와.
And I pay homage to that kind of Tara.
오케이, 많이 가르치는 다 주만에 특히 너는 삼아라. 들리라고 요송 딱 놓고 그러와서.
And so next time when you recite the words, then you should understand, or you should have in your mind, this is what it's saying, this is what it's saying.
Okay. 다 어디지? 다때 너한테 봐서 돼 말이야.
So that's the brief explanation.
다 제가 봐라 아니 사실이에요. 그래서
And the extensive explanation have two categories, two subheadings.
다 그거네 그러니까 롱키 거네 때 봐다 죽이 거네 때 봐시.
And offering a praise as the embodiment, enjoyment body, and offering a praise as a truth body.
롱거도 죽어서 돼 간제 아니 sem제 가리나 상 토마 집에 까불래야 아니 다 이제 강사 되라 다 롱크에 그래서 대지지 아니 이지 시바다 이조도 지내서 못하잖아 다 죽어서 가 죽어서
So the enjoyment body, so there are four different types of bodies of the Buddha, right? The emanation, enjoyment, and there are two in the truth body. So it makes the four holy bodies, four bodies of the Buddha. So when anybody who achieves enlightenment enlightenment, and they will achieve this enjoyment body, and so that's like the body that we see. And then whatever realizations, knowledges that they have within their body is called the truth body. So their compassion, their wisdom, understanding, emptiness, and so forth is the truth body.
다 아니 로게 거는 남았던 말라 아니 초일 거는 때 받아 시회 거리 시회 거는 때 받아 초일 거는 때 받아 단 이유를 해서 또 봐.
And so then praising as a enjoyment body, through the enjoyment body, that's like praising through the wrathful enjoyment body, and then praising through the peaceful enjoyment body.
다 동보라 사실 죽이래. 다 사실도 사치도 이제 하고 사치 하고 와이나 쇼로가 니감 되나 니감 내부터 배우면서.
And also it is good to understand about these outlines, or the subdivisions, divisions or subdivisions or categories, whatever we call it. And so you understand. If you understand that, then you know, oh, this is talking about this is talking about that, and then you will understand that easily.
다 동보들라 아니 상당 사실 오전 초벽은 또 봐서.
And so the first one, the double Tobadra.
아마 시원.
So first one is the Raspul, the peaceful in German body, right? Praising as a peaceful in German body. So that one has 6 categories.
다 시레다 되라 모두 가지 되고 또 봐.
So the first one is praising, her with the in terms of her aspects of appearance, how she appears with the lights and so forth.
아니 이바데 꿈도다 아니 션센다 아니 저까지 되고 또 봐서 꿈도 가리요 션센까지.
So the second one is praising in terms of her, the complexions of her body, the color of the body, and then also the hand symbols, what kind of the mudras or the hand gestures that she has.
아니 숨바데 자와다 제세지 기백은 또 봐서 다 나도들도 자와다 제세도 기백을 되고 또 봐서.
And the third one is praising in terms of how she is respected, not only by us, of course, even by the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
아니 문도쇼 너베고 또 봤다 문도도 가는 봐. 내가서 되고 또 봤어.
And then praising her in terms of how she destroys all the unfavorable conditions.
아니 지금 라치만 기백은 또 봤어.
And then how she's praised as how she's venerated by the great gods of the worldly beings.
아니 벌은 좀 있고 또 봤어.
And then praising how she destroys others, the negative forces.
어디 다대 맞지 다대 다 사실도 소환하고 이만 고사를 왔으면 이제 삼십을 올선 거고 그래서.
So it might take a long time, to go through each and every categories, but you should memorize them if possible.
어디 다 쇼로가 니바스 와 쇼로가 니바데 다 세대 간지요레스 다 어디 가리는 쪽에 되고 또 말이더라 와. 샤서 동안 너
And so then, so what kind of face, what kind of appearance the face she has, and then what kind of the hand symbols, the mudras that she assumes.
어디 다 샤서 동기 나와 근데 공화전에 좀에서만 까마도로 좁아면라도 지금 오람 발마스 다 됐더라 왔어.
So the verse here it says, homage to she whose face combines 100 autumn moons at fullest, blazing with the light and rays splendid as 1,000-star collection.
어디 다 샤사로 다 샤스라서나 아니 다 도마라 샤사 이들와
So homage, homage to whom? The homage to Ayatara.
다 담보도 빼려버려 똥기 나와 건더스 나 똥게 맞아 똥가에 와서 다 알려서 동다 똥카 아니 나와 약하고 제발 쪽에 나와 아니 너무나 좀 마시고 매비 가려야 다 나와 미세가 어찌 모여 말했어 똥기다.
And so here is the example, right? The example of the autumn moon. So in the autumn, on the full moon day of the autumn, if you look at that, the moon in the autumn, the full moon in the autumn is even more, brighter, more whiter or brighter than the other times.
아니 나와도 까보이 봐. 아니 들게 어찌 뭐 대야 딱가 나와 약하지 넘보 아니 남의 어찌 가지고 다 제보셔야 해 말했어. 비지 오셔야지. 나와 약간.
And so then this is describing her face. So it's like a moon, of the autumn time, fullest, not just partly partial moon, but it's the full moon.
간지 다 셔레트 다 제보셔야 이렇게 셔레트로 셔레트.
So anyway, it is just to show that her face is very beautiful.
그러와 딘지가 나와대요. 아니 공화 된다. 저기 잘났나? 다만 망보지 냠도 룩샤와 지가래 닦아보시오.
That's Angitaris.
아,
Kawanjanis, Angitaris.
다만 망보지 룩와 다와자
Dawaja.
다와자스 룩체네. 다 고치무시오 그랬다 되라고 해서.
So, if just one is that bright and clear, then how much clearer and bright it will be if it's like 100 of them combined together. So that's how her face is, how beautiful her face is like that.
그래와 안에 다때 된지기 시래 된지긴 저거 된지 야고요 봤지. 안에 까마도 좁아내 라듯이요. 거는 맛은 대야 거야 대야 답이 까마 똥장 먹고 뺏긴 나도 또 television 나와도 까마치에서 와서 그래다 까마 먹고 까마도 초바 남기에서
Kamachel.
내가 까마치에서
Alright.
television 까마치에서 나도 나 다와체로 누구도 있는 거네 나 다외체 다외에 까메 치하다 까마고 치고 들어와서 대어 까마 똥장 먹고 초바 남기다 알랍다 그걸 받으니까 된지시고 있어요.
And then other examples gives like the blazing with the light was splendid as 1,000 star collection. So like combined 100 autumn moons at fullest, or like 1,000 star collections. So usually when we look at the sky, look up at the sky, we think the star is smaller than moon, but the scientists say star is bigger than moons, right? It's just that it's too far away. That's why we can't see it as big, but it's bigger than that. But anyway, so stars, and if you combine, collecting all these stars, like thousands of stars together, and how bright it will be. So that's how her face is described.
어떤지 다 끼 호텔에와 아니 끼 호텔 바발라 때네 아니 대자는 문도비 다 그래 문도비 쇼 차타래 다 좋은 적을 해야 되로.
And so by blazing, the lights like that, from her body, and she will liberate all sentient beings, from all the unfavorable conditions, unwanted situations.
된지가 좀 맞다라 샤타가 예세로와.
And to such kind of, Dharma, we pay homage.
어떤지 지수 좀만 쏘았다와 있나 시래 대야다 또게 다wan지 까보 야보용 거래 그도 대야 고치고용 거야 말했어.
And so if we pray to that kind of Dharma, then we'll have a very beautiful face, like the autumn moon at fullest, and also we'll have a radiant, a body like the 1,000 star collections.
어디지 이러와. 아니 공은 생아야 까몬 단대지 좀 하더라.
And then the name of this Tara, Karmo Dande, means having the complexion of white, the white complexion.
다 남은 점에 시바에 넣으나 나도 인식된 배치 사다 나무도 다 요거라고 말했지 좀.
And so if you think about her beauty, then the gods and goddesses, or the most beautiful human beings, will not even be fit to be her slave.
대자와 견대자가 레트는 나서 그래서 이 영웅 처음에 보면 또다 그 천주 전부상야 독가와.
And so and then again there's a praise to Tara, Sweden, they all do it. By first the Lama again, and then another praise to Tara. So where he mentioned like even the thousands of these beautiful girls, human or goddesses, will not even be fit to be her slaves.
어떻게 다 정말 소와 담나 된지가 다 남아서 야고 용고요레스.
So if we pray to Tara, and then we'll have this kind of beautiful forms.
어떻게 다 아니 풀품도 뭘 쉬어도 걔가 그거요 말했어.
And where you will not require any perfumes and makeups.
Not everybody, of course, they need to learn that basic.
So they do need something, some basic appearance, right? But it's mostly makeup, made up by all these makeups.
어떻게 지수 정말로 쏘았담나? 아니 더도 감각 기밥전에 그거 말해서.
And so if you pray to Tara, you will not recall all those things. Give them up.
Save money.
You save money, all the capture. You check a lot of times. What did you? Why aren't you the drama pen of Sawatan? I aren't you? Shimbaji, Trin Yavaji, Yan Dundo, Lava Nasra, and then Naya, Tumbaji. That too much, oh, yeah, 총 천에 남바라고 난 예로 가려야 살아야 다 저하고 마음도 그래서
너무 고조.
다 주요 꼭 간다 꼬리 소소지.
Then again, there's another story, of this benefited somebody who prayed to Tara. So there was this businessman, he was traveling in the olden days, right? So old days, he was traveling, and then he had to stop on the way, to rest and sleep in the night. And while he was sleeping, he was surrounded by his enemies, or like thieves and so forth.
아니 대다 공고 저게 알아도 숨쳐줘야 돼. 아니 다그 답시로 개마다 양고 짓을 좀 알아서 왔다 그랬어.
And so he was almost to be captured, so he didn't have any other means but to pray to Tara. So he prayed to Tara.
아니 대자마다 다 끼지 다라 짓을 좀 남걸라 편해. 아니 짓을 나게 다 샤네 까먹어야. 사바심을 주요한데 아니 대자마다 건가 고저 속소쇼소소 바삐셔 말했어.
And so so at that very moment, the Dharma appeared in the sky, and then and then there's the big a blow of wind came from her feet, and that blow with all the people around, all these people, all his enemies around him.
뭐지? 어디지? 어디 들어다 좀마디 쇼가 이발 스타일 봤어. 이발 스마. 이발와. 다 쓴바데스. 다 사실 이바지 꿈도다 상세히 보냈대 봐. 알아봐. 아니. 알아봐.
So then the third verse, which is another Tara, praising in terms of the hand symbols and the color of the body.
알아봐. 다 상서 생물 친해지지 배매전은 남는 좀 심바들이 까도셔 봐서 받는 쉬어야 마. 같은 데 와서.
So the word is homage. Golden blue on lotus, water born in hand adorned, giving effort, calm ostriches, patience, meditation in her spirit.
아니 드라마티 메라가 설명도 전세. 설명.
Sermo?
설명.
Doctrine. So this name of this Tara is called Sermo Doctrine, which means golden complexion.
어디 다 샹타로스나 다 소라 창타기 예스를 다 지도 좀 말아 봤어.
Then again, homage to the Ayatollah, right?
아니 다 설모스나 설세디 아니 다 꿈도 아
Sermore.
설모 다뭐 뭐잖아. 설세디가 아니 딱 구션 장루도 구션 야루도 라고 해서 와. 설모 설세디. 뭐세디 아니 꿈도 때 아니 때스 지금 무슨 왔다. 근데 이제도 장거로 가는 거 장거로 간다 와서 꿈도 거든. 실제 세대
Study 가서?
세세대 딱 순독 야고 순독 가야 그샤 장로 그샤 야로 세도 아니 그샤 장보도 그샤 야보 그샤 다 속다대 또 세는 지금 또 친구 야보 주고 이렇게 살죠. 무엇이야디
명언을 해서
응 세세대 아니 다 야보도 거기서 야보 있고 장보 야보 있고 그래서 무엇이야디 다 꿈도 없고 그래서 꿈도 때 이제 다 내가 뭐 장가로 왔어. 아니 천에 제사대 대 지도 좀 맞추는 게 없고 많이 봐지. 아니 천에 제비 뼈마 제비 아니 다 매국 뼈마 스물세 고로 봐.
신의 계획이 배마? 차례는 거기야.
천에 제비 뼈마 매국 뼈마 샤나 그랬어. 대샤라 나게 다 나게 제마들 되게 괜찮은 스물세.
So again, homage, right, to Ayatara, who where the gold here, a gold blue one. Gold here is referring to the quality, not to the color, but to the quality. Very good, quality. And then blue one is like a bluish color body. So someone who has a very good, bluish color body. And lotus, water born in hand adorned means like who is holding a lotus, born from water in her hand.
나는 내려오서 그랬어. 나 샤 내지긴 도시 로만 좀 왔어. 네가 몇 번 와서 왔어.
And so, like you see, her the ring finger pressing with the thumb, and then holds the lotus, the lotus stem with that.
아니 샤 놓치도 와서 샤 옆바데
so
and tell her, Georgian said, and you don't shoot a kaji, metal dulcin and shoot it.
they did the mother.
And then let us shoot on the issue. Metal and dulcis, permission and number Jim,
So anyway, so most all the taras, you see that their hands raising at the heart level, and with the ring finger and the tongue together holds the stem of the flower. The flower stem goes around, and then it kind of blossoms around at her ear level, so like that.
되게 메토 되가 아니 탑 이제 질문은 아니 혈압 동반에 또 혈압 일 같은 게 성교를 봤어.
And so the lotus symbolizes both great compassion and wisdom, delight, and emptiness.
어떻게다 다 지들 드마 아니 꿈도야 다 하천 그 세나지게 다 전부야 보여와 아니 다 주제에 뭐에 나봐 전도 거지. 아니 다 메토 칠레지게 메토 뺨마다 샤가 남댕이 다 때라 상상이 있어.
And so homage to the Dharma, who has a bluish complexion, has a very good, like a goat, bluish complexion, and who's holding a lotus in her hand.
뭐지? 다 되는데 간이 생활나 아니 다저 아니 점바 아니 존지 까투스야 돼 아니 투점 아니 셔와 셔럽 아니 조파 something 대년을 제반에 생활을 해서 그러와 됐대 그래서.
And so then there's this giving, effort, calm, austerities, patience, meditation, her sphere. So this one it shows about the cause. It talks about the cause. And so what kind of cause gives birth to such kind of body? So the cause is giving, is the practice of generosity, practice of effort. Calm is calm abiding, concentration. And then austerities is all the hardships, going through all the hardships. And the patience, meditation on the perfection of patience, and meditation is concentration. And so through these practices, then one achieves this kind of body.
다 레라오도한테 가서 답변아. 청다 지지자지 계속 배면시는 거 저마 심마들어 그도 셔와 들어시나 다 담보지 간지 여와 가린 남 여와 근데 가운데 쇼 여와는 티걸 선는 다 교사님들 여와래서.
So if we think about all these things, what we recite, just not just saying the words, but of course in English, it makes it easier to understand, but in Tibetan it's very difficult to understand the meaning of the words because it's all very poetic word. But in English, of course, it's all clear, a little bit clearer, but not exactly, but it's more clear. And so anyway, if we think about those meaning of those words as we recite, it's more beneficial.
어디지? 다들 저 송아 다 되어들라. 아니 사실 숨바 자와다 자세지 기백은 때 봐스.
And then the third one now is praising in terms of how even Buddhas and Bodhisattvas pay homage to her.
아니 쇼로가 시바와 아 찬도 대제집에 뚜들은 다 있나 봐 집에 쇼마스. 아니 말이 벌어진 것 같으면 자바티 전에 때마 아세야 되겠다. 당보 쇼로가 당보니 되가 아니 자와당 아니 다 산지 관계가 또 마시게래스. 아니 저런 이박에 대 맞아야 돼. 상접스 맞아 장난 또 그래서 하는 거로.
And then so it says here, so homage and crown of Tathagatas in action triumph without limit, won by conquerors' children, having reached in every perfection. So this is how the Buddhas or Bodhisattvas praise to her.
아니 대라 두드러치지 좀 마스.
And then this Tara is called Tara with the crown.
와.
Tukdorchen.
와. 다 안에 다 샤자스 가나 술라 샤자가 예선하고 다 샤자 대주집에 쭉 들었으나 다 대주집에 쭉 돌래 르막 23호 다 가도 23호 때는 먹기에 쇼다 이봐 유문 다 이봐 에 잡아 다 잡아와 대중은 들려졌는지 와 담보들 와 대주집에 딱 가든가 성경에 대한 전에 안에 산제도 도저 찾아면 다 이틀 다 내려야 다 공쇼되고 그래서 그러고 유모 타이가 빵하게 아니 다 성경을 얻은 쇼게 대해서 담보들이로.
So the first verse says the crown of Tathagatas, right? And so she's residing on the crown of the Tathagatas. Tathagatas are the Buddhas, right? And all the Buddhas, and benefiting sentient beings by residing there.
들이 저기 투tör들에 다 공도들에 다 쇼초들와 아니 용어가 다 이반나 아니 모두 좀다 이반 빵안에 아니 생전은 그런 이제 쇼대로 생각으로
So it's Dromada.
아주 드라마
And so she, takes the place, on the crown of the Tathagatas, as of having overcome or eliminated all the delusions, all the obstructions, and as for having benefited in the numberless sentient beings.
아니 대전샤바트 소리야 딱이 투tör나지 제대로 막 가지나 땡겨서 살고 그러죠.
And also, this shows that all the Buddhas, all the Tathagatas of Buddhas, respect homage to the Dharma, and by placing on their crown all the time.
뭐 나 산지 위투도 가는 위투도 자자와는 투도 파주자 투대요 말was.
So the crown of Tathagata is the crown all the time. I can't move here and there, right?
근데다 제대로 막 간디 옛날 건조야. 또 위투도 마시잖아. 뭐 저기 기타에 라떼가 해서 그러.
So the Ayatara is also like the crown of the Tathagatas, who is there all the time, and who is prayed by even Buddhas and Bodhisattvas all the time.
다 말을 바로 심바 토비 제베스 지시는 때 말은 말에서나 아니 사저 람게 예대 말이바 콘데 체베에 들어와 아니 파르다시면 냠레 쟁이 아니 현재 선반 들으나 다 가디나 실 땡거리 세로로 가디나 기십체를 세로.
So rely on by conquerors and children having reached in every perfection, and so.
예대 말이바 토비로 파시죠.
So having reached in every perfection, or actually also could mean that those who are practicing the 6 perfections or 10 perfections all the time, even the bodhisattvas or the conquerors' children of bodhisattvas who have reached and who are practicing the 6 or 10 perfections, also rely on the Venerable Ayatara.
근데다 자와다 자세 탐주의 염려에서 다 염려에서 탐주로 말이.
And therefore, it's also called the Ayatara. Is the mother of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
가르치듯나 아니 지서 조마데 아니 가로 답 이제 제보다 가로 이제다 돈이도비 희란이다 사이고 다 되는 말에서 왔대요. 아니 산제도 산제도 뭐 간가 이제도 돈이도비 희란 야들만 산제와 와서 들이다 염세다 주고.
And also it says that Ayatara is the embodiment of all the compassion of bodhicitta and wisdom that has an emptiness of all the Buddhas. And so since all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they are born from this compassion and wisdom, and therefore Tara is known as the mother of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
What? 근데 이제 간제 지대 좀마다 자와다 제세도 다 위투도는 때는 딱 나중에 때 려고 오세요.
And so even if Ayatara is praised, or relied by the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas like their own crown, then of course we should, right?
What? That is what? You understand? You
So
understand?
that part is good, right?
Maybe a little bit better after maybe you can not next time you can read this under months. So yeah. But you always forgot, right? What is it?
Yeah.
You also verse also. Liquid
vessel.
vessel.
Just.
What is it? 다 사실 시와 문도쇼 노베고네 또 봐서네 그랬어.
And then so next one is
어디 좀만 미하나 없어. 미들은 수도시 좀 많이. 아니 검도대 설모로 해서 어떻게 올라왔어. 당어도 사치 시와로 왔어. 문도쇼 노베고네 때 봐서.
and then the next one is so you understand that the name is called the Tsuktorchin, which means having the crown, and so she has the golden complexion, golden color complexion, and then the fifth one, is the so the Tara who who counts in all the unfavorable conditions.
다 뒤밀어야 혼자 좀 맞아요. 혼자 좀.
And then, so now this one is it's called the Tara, who utters the letter Hum.
아니 꿈도 말 보이다 그랬는데.
This one has a red color body.
나도 돈이 자식들 꿈도 나만 먹는데 와서.
And so as you see, these 21 different Taras have different color bodies.
그렇지. 다 돼. 아니 시험사 따다라 뭐 이렇게 내가 쇼당 나걸 거만 지때도 뭐 샵지는데 리바운드 무걸 니마 아스다 지대로 왔어.
So this one says homage, filling with Totare, whom desire, direction, and space, trampling under her feet the seven bulls, able to draw forth all beings.
다 술을 샤사기 있어. 다도 샤사 술을 하서 들어왔어.
So to whom do we pay homage to?
아니 따다라 해야 되다. 송거 되나 보다. 송거 돼.
So Tutara is the quality of speech.
아니 송거 연태인데 어제 잡든 말봐. 잡든 쳐와 들어와. 송거 돼.
And so from the excellent qualities of the speech, a light and a radiance extremely.
어디지? 아니 그 따라하지. 홍이게 되다 그러잖아. 실제 원자길래 당시 투명하게 저기다 홍이가 홍가 짜도 홍가 짜도 가로 따라에 원주 봐 홍이가 짜도 봐 들어와.
So with the home, the home is the combined activities of all the peaceful, wrathful, the increasing and so forth. And so
따라서 돼. 아니 송거 예된 원청대 되지 된 그래서. 아니 홍사야 되겠다. 홍가 짜도네. 아니 투지에 돼. 아니 이제 좀 못해. 다 얘기 너무 빠지네. 짜도 생기 된 그래서.
And so the Tutare, radiance, all the excellent qualities of the speech, and the home by the utterance of the home, and also you utter the sound of the home, and and perform all the actions of this, the increasing, the peaceful, wrathful, and so forth.
그봐. 다 내가 쇼다 남바 가마 아세. 지대도 뭐 잡지는 게 세와데. 아니 그래서나 그래서 그래 냐와 예다 던조 뭐 라된 데기로 나 지대가 주다 주민이 있는데 단 지대 대해서 봐 대선도 검시로 쇼세 아니 그래서 그래서 감도 좀 감이 지대 단 지대도 못해 잡지는 나 다 그래서 내비 강사 탐질 다 답변을 첫 번째 그래 해서 그러와 지대도 뭐 쉽지 않는데
So the home, desire, direction, and space, and trampling with her feet at the seven walls, able to draw forth all beings. And so I think the seven walls,
야와지
so the hell beings, the hungry ghosts, animals, human beings.
너스야지 다 너구이로 같이
그래서
녹음지로 같이 야와에 다 던조 몰라다 되는 녹음지로 같이 쇼세도 주도 좀 있는 등 지대에서
다 녀와에다 들도
야와에 다 밀라지 안테는 딴 녹음지로 같이 쇼세도 수컴다 좀 있겠는데 등 지대에서
So there's these five worlds, the five desire worlds, and the two form and formless world. The five desire worlds are the hell realm, hungry ghost, animal, humans, and gods, and then there's this form realm god and formless realm god. So there's those makes the seven worlds.
대란내비 강사 소 안에 타와다 터절레비 틀었다 잡아들게레스.
And so the beings who are dwelling in these seven worlds, and she will draw them forth by benefit, by helping them draw them forth to all to liberation or enlightenment.
다 대마세 어때 리바 몇번 구벌 니마세나 누가 찌장 말리바 아니 딱 좁이 니바 요리해서 그러고.
So who has the power to draw all sentience without exception, means like without leaving any one behind has the power to draw or liberate all sentient beings, to the state of enlightenment or liberation.
양 지텐도 뭐 샵지 나데서야 돼. 아니 기회 예된지 예스. 와 지텐도 뭐 대라니베 강사라 양. 아니 다와도 되지 마라. 받을 지지지. 아니 다 깨빠지 못도 저도 간다. 샵지 만내네 명소 예서로.
So trampling with her feet means like trampling with feet all the unfavorable conditions, all the negative forces that obstruct one from achieving enlightenment or liberation, and then by trampling that with her feet, and she liberates all sentient beings.
어떻게 그송 투스미 예때도 돈발을 때는 로아치 좀 많이 봐. 아니 다 그래 조금 제대로 해서로.
So with that qualities, will protect all sentient beings without any exception.
어 간지 어디다 들으라고 말했다.
So 너도 쳐다서 그래?
내세야 됐다. 너거기 들어나. 쇼세야 돼. 죽지. 아니 남카드 좀이 그러나 도스. 내세야 되는 야와이다 센로. 말라데 너거기 들어나. 쇼세야 돼. 죽음. 남카드 좀이 그.
So in the second line where it says the desire, direction, and space, so those are talking about the seven mode. It mentions here the desire is the desire realm, the direction is the form realm, and then the space is the formless realm.
Okay? Okay. This is hard, right?
It's wonderful.
답을 드리는 거 잡을. I think we stop here today. 다 들으려고 이 말에서 다그 들이 얘네들한테 자식 잡았다. 마마 잡식 말에서 이나다 모두 강투투식. 제가 때서 마시는 말로.
So this is about it, and of course I myself don't know all the words and the details, but if we can have some discussion just like this, I think it might be of some benefit.
When you have to research, you can all talk about it. But if you will, you can research or study more commentaries, read again, then you
So you should listen again and again, and then that will stay in your mind. Otherwise, if you just listen once and don't think about that again, then you'll forget it very soon. So when we recite the words like that, then we understand, oh, this is what it means, and this is what it means, and that makes sense, and that gives us more feeling when we do the prayers, right? So Tara is a liberator, right? So who liberates, and then who is swift and who is heroic. So someone like that. If we pray to someone like that, then definitely all our wishes will come true very soon.
Okay, today that Dharma jipa churule thoba, jipa jere thoba today. Tam dong today.
And also, like I said, liberator means like to free, right? To liberate, to free from the start from the cycles in lower realms, and then there are particular fears that she liberates one from. And they mention about 16 fears or 8 fears and so forth, which are mentioned in the sutta. Maybe we will come along and I'll come across those later.
Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Krishna.
Then any questions? Yeah. But don't give too difficult questions. Yeah, sorry.
You talk about Tara being able to grant wishes, and they talk in other parts of the 21 Taras about if you want a child, you get a child. If you want wealth, you get wealth. Aren't those the 8 worldly dharmas? So I don't understand the connection between the wish granting and avoiding the 8 worldly dharmas.
너도 그래서 디드는 직행 저게 제가 없어요. 아니 때문에 만족이 다지난 로마들은 다 지난 먼저 가서 상기고 환하게 지금 연락이 되대야. 그냥 지금 저기도 가르쳐 줘야 돼.
대가서 지들 정말 써봤는데 내가는 단투 이가 되는 거예요. 단투도 이마 내가 대 주지 못 하고 그래서.
Well, like we mentioned earlier, that it will accomplish all your wishes, the temporal wishes and the ultimate wishes. The ultimate wishes, of course, is to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings, but then temporarily also we want to have those things, right? So even for those things, if we pray to Tara, she'll grant also that.
예, 내가 다 되고 되냐, 되고 되냐, 딱 가지고 루진 돈이 온다 그랬어요.
And so not only that she grants, and then grants quickly and so forth. So those are the qualities. 나도 대체는 지금 저기 제가 벌써 같아.
아마도 미세게 지다 소도 지금 너 영화 제다 부 영화 제다 제나 아니 지대 잘 그래서 얘나 지들 정말로 쏘았다와 얘나 내 소주 세면 분들은 더 가려 가면 될 거예요. 그러고 분들 상태가 고마워해 줘야 되지.
So of course, if you just pray, if you pray to Tara just to have those things in this life, like a child or world in this life, then of course that becomes holy. Now, from your side, that will be a worldly, a worldly concern, so then a worldly dharma. But from the Tara's side, she has all this power to accomplish all your wishes, temporary wishes or the ultimate wishes.
얘나야 가서는 나도 내 나서면 어떤 영화 제대로 정말 다 소답 줘요 그랬을 때 아니 춘남다에서 말하는 딱 문제 지금 나오는 소원이 춘남다 말해서
So 된다. So again, if you want to have a wealth, just for yourself, to have a comfortable life, then that's not so good. But if you say, I want to have wealth so I can have other people, then that kind of wishing wealth is good, right? And so it all depends, Again, you can wish, for good health, you can wish for a plenty of wealth. If you say, oh, I just want to be happy, I don't want to be sick, for myself alone, then that becomes a worldly concern, or worldly dharma. But if you say, if I'm healthy, then I can help others. If I'm healthy, I can practice dharma. I can, do this and that. And then I can help others and so forth. So for that, I want to be healthy. So if your motivation to be healthy is to benefit others, then that's good. That's not a worldly dharma.
어떻게 다 같이 들어가. 조지라야 아니. 세미치의 추진을 가려고 그래서 나 아니 내가 더 가려고 그래서 이게 마음만 가는 다 싫어 가지고 다 야와이 되죠. 저는 세심히 치면 별 말이에요. 세미 저는 가르쳐야 돼. 편해서 그러고.
So then of course, if you do it only for this life, then whatever you experience in this life, then that's it. That's done. You don't have anything left for next life. Because you didn't pray for next life, so what's going to happen to next life? Is whatever actions that you have created in the past. And so that's what Lama Atisha said when somebody asked him, what happens if you pray for this life? He said, you will only get things in this life. And then what will happen in the next life? Next life you'll fall into the lower realm. Because you haven't prayed, for next life. You only had created non-virtuous actions in the past, so that will lead you to the lower realms.
대단한 탐정이 딱 줘도 고름이시거든 와서. 나도 싫다 나비 추세에 제 신발을 팽개지 지고 그래. 지금다 지나서 와서. 대지 삼만은 세디시 되면 주도케게 제총 매화를 한 통도 와서. 대 말했어.
So of course, we say we have to, think about the future life at least. For it to become a Dharma practice, you have to think about future life. But doesn't mean that we can't think about this life at all. You can think about this life also.
Okay. Okay. Then. 답하시면 다 산이. Okay. Next we finish 5, right? It doesn't start 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, I always forgot.
So Krishna will continue next week? Yep.
Yeah, usually we plan to just 2 weeks, maybe 2 is not finished, right?
Maybe 3?
I think we try to 3 weeks, otherwise we go too fast, then, we don't get any meaning,
Yeah.
Just a little bit slowly, then maybe couple people benefit, and I think we do study again, to understand.
Thank you, Geshe.
Okay, thank you, my job's done.
Thank you, Geshe.
It is really hard, You should also, the Tara was very,
It's very short and like a poetic, and difficult to understand.
Yeah. But maybe a little bit benefit, maybe better than nothing.
Yes, definitely. Much better than nothing.
It's better than nothing. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, please turn to page 39 of the Kurukulla Center Purple for Thanksgiving Mandala. Saji Puti Gyutu